Imagine my nephew cornering me at a family dinner, demanding I hand over the keys to my Porsche. "You're too old to drive it anyway, Uncle Mike. Just give it to me." His mother, my sister, nodded in agreement. But what they didn't know was that car contained something that would expose every lie they'd been telling the family for 3 years. Before we continue, please subscribe to Twisted Vengeance and write in the comments what city you're watching from. The August heat made the leather seats of my 2019 Porsche 911 Carrera stick to my legs as I pulled into Jennifer's driveway in Vaughan. Her house, a sprawling 2-story with white columns that served no structural purpose, sat behind an immaculate lawn. My nephew Brandon's BMW M4 occupied the circular driveway like a territorial claim. I'd driven up from my townhouse in Mississauga. 23 minutes. I'd timed it. Modest place, 2 bedrooms, efficient, everything I needed after selling my engineering consulting firm 2 years ago. The sale had been quiet. $8.4 million. No press release, no celebration. Just signed papers and a wire transfer. Jennifer opened the door before I knocked. My younger sister, 51 years old, but dressed like she was hosting a magazine photo shoot. "Michael, you're early." Traffic was light. Brandon appeared behind her, 26 years old, tall, his hair styled with what looked like expensive product. He wore a polo shirt with a designer logo I didn't recognize. "Uncle Mike, nice ride out there." His eyes had already been on the Porsche. "It gets me around." Inside, the house smelled like catered food. Jennifer had hired someone despite calling this a simple family dinner. The dining room table could seat 12. 3 of us were eating. We sat. Jennifer served. Brandon checked his phone twice before the food arrived. "So, Uncle Mike," Brandon said, not looking up. "Still living in that little townhouse?" "It suits me. Must be tough, downsizing after the divorce, working all those years just to end up modest." Jennifer smiled into her wine glass. "Brandon's doing very well. His marketing agency just signed a major client." "That's good." 6-figure contract, Brandon added. "We're expanding, hiring 3 new people." I cut my chicken, said nothing. "The BMW outside," Jennifer continued. "Brandon bought it himself. Cash. No financing." "Impressive." Brandon leaned back. "Uncle Mike, I've been meaning to ask. That Porsche. You really need something like that? I mean, you're 64, retired. You drive to the grocery store and back. I enjoy it. But realistically, you're on a fixed income now, right? Pension from the firm? Maintenance on a car like that must be brutal." Jennifer nodded. "Michael, Brandon has a point. You should think about something more practical. A Honda, maybe. Save money. The Porsche's paid off." "Still," Brandon said. "Insurance, maintenance, premium gas, it adds up. Meanwhile, I could actually use it. Client meetings, networking events. It would be a business asset." I set down my fork. "You want my car? I'm saying it makes more sense for someone who'd actually utilize it properly." He said it like he was doing me a favor. "Brandon deserves nice things," Jennifer added. "He works so hard, and you don't need to prove anything anymore, Michael." The implication hung there. I was finished. Diminished, clinging to symbols of a past relevance. "I'll think about it," I said. Brandon's expression shifted. Confidence. "Think fast, I've got a major pitch next week. Would make a great impression." The drive home took 26 minutes. Traffic had picked up. I parked the Porsche in my garage, sat in the darkness for 5 minutes. Then I went inside, opened my laptop, and began typing. Document titled, "Family Observations, August 2024. Brandon's claims about his marketing agency. Jennifer's comments about his success. The BMW purchased with cash." I wrote it all down. Then I started researching. Brandon's agency had a website, professional looking, client testimonials that seemed generic. I ran the business registration, incorporated 6 months ago. No major contracts on public record. LinkedIn showed 3 employees total, including Brandon. The BMW lease. I accessed public records through channels I'd developed during 40 years in business, financed, not purchased. $847 monthly payment, co-signed by Jennifer. I spent 3 days gathering information, hired a business analyst I'd worked with before, former associate specialized in corporate due diligence. I paid him $2,000. He delivered a report. Brandon's agency. Revenue last year, $43,000. Current debts, $67,000. Unpaid invoices, missed payments. The major client Jennifer mentioned didn't exist. The six-figure contract was fabrication. Jennifer's financial situation: second mortgage on the house taken out 8 months ago. $180,000 purpose, undisclosed. Credit cards, maxed across 3 accounts. I compiled everything into a folder. Then I called Jennifer. "I've thought about the Porsche," I said. "Brandon can borrow it for his pitch next week." Her voice brightened. "Really? Michael, that's so generous." "I'll bring it by Tuesday evening. He can pick it up then." "He'll be thrilled. This is really wonderful of you." I hung up, opened my safe, removed the documents I'd prepared, placed them in a leather portfolio, drove to the Porsche dealership. The service department knew me. I'd been maintaining the car there since purchase. "I need documentation printed," I told the service manager. "Complete maintenance history. Every service, every repair, total costs, itemized." He printed it. 31 pages. I paid $47,000 in maintenance over 4 years. Premium services, ceramic coating, performance upgrades. All documented. I added it to the portfolio. Tuesday evening arrived. I drove the Porsche to Jennifer's house. Brandon waited in the driveway, practically vibrating with anticipation. "Uncle Mike." He walked around the car, running his fingers along the hood. "This is perfect. You won't regret this." "There's something in the car," I said. "Documentation you should read." Yeah. Owner's manual stuff. I've driven Porsches before." "It's in the passenger seat." He opened the door, saw the leather portfolio, picked it up, curious. Jennifer appeared. "Michael, thank you so much for doing this. He should read what's inside before he drives it." Brandon opened the portfolio. His expression changed as he read the first page. Service history, $47,000 in maintenance. His face went pale. "What is this?" "Complete ownership costs, maintenance, insurance, premium fuel, averaged $15,000 annually." He flipped pages, found the next section, business analysis report. His own company's financial records. "Where did you get this?" "Public records, corporate filings, standard due diligence." Jennifer stepped closer. "Michael, what are you doing?" Brandon's hands shook. "You investigated me. You wanted to use my car for business. I wanted to understand your business. Turns out there isn't much to understand." Jennifer grabbed the portfolio, read quickly. Her face flushed. "This is private information. It's public record, your second mortgage, Brandon's debts, the BMW lease you co-signed, all documented." Brandon's voice rose. "You had no right. You had no right to assume I was a foolish old man who'd hand over a $120,000 car because you asked nicely." "This is..." Jennifer searched for words. "This is vindictive." "This is factual. You've been lying to the family. About Brandon's success, about your financial situation. Telling everyone he's thriving while you mortgage your house to cover his debts." Brandon threw the portfolio down. "I don't need this. I don't need your car or your judgment. You're right. You need a business plan and financial counseling. But you won't get either by pretending success you haven't earned." Jennifer's face crumpled. "Why would you do this? We're family." "Family doesn't humiliate each other at dinner tables. Doesn't treat retirement as surrender. You both assumed I was diminished, desperate, irrelevant. You were wrong." I picked up the portfolio. Brandon stood frozen beside the Porsche, keys hanging from his hand. "The car stays with me," I said. "If you want to rebuild your business legitimately, I'll consider investing. Real money, real terms, real accountability. Otherwise, stop performing success on borrowed money and someone else's assets." Jennifer's voice shook. "Mom and Dad would be ashamed of you. Mom and Dad taught us not to lie. You've been lying for 3 years." I took the keys from Brandon's hand, got in the Porsche, started the engine. The sound filled the driveway. Through the windshield, I watched them standing there, exposed, deflated. The drive home took 24 minutes. I parked in my garage, sat in silence. Had I been cruel? Possibly effective? Absolutely. 3 weeks later, Jennifer called. Her voice was different, smaller. "Michael, I need to talk. We met at a coffee shop in Oakville, neutral territory." She looked tired, older. "I've been lying," she said. "To everyone, to myself. Brandon's struggling. I've been enabling him. The house, the loans, it's all falling apart. I know. You could have just told me privately. You didn't have to humiliate him. Would you have listened? Or would you have defended him, made excuses, asked me for money to continue the charade? She stared at her coffee. Probably the latter. Public exposure forces private honesty. Sometimes that's necessary. Brandon won't speak to you. That's his choice. When he's ready to have an honest conversation about rebuilding his business properly, I'm available. And the money, would you really invest? With conditions, full transparency, professional business plan, regular financial reporting, real accountability. Jennifer nodded slowly. I need help, Michael. The second mortgage, the debt. I don't know how to fix this. I pulled out an envelope. Business card inside. Financial advisor, former colleague. She specializes in debt restructuring. Tell her I referred you. She'll be honest about your options. Why help me after everything? Because you're my sister. Because I want you to succeed. Actually succeed, not perform success. But I won't enable delusion. She took the card, held it like a lifeline. 4 months later, Brandon called, asked to meet. We sat in my townhouse living room, simple furniture, no pretense. I want to try again, he said. The business, but properly this time. I don't know how. Start by telling the truth about what you have, what you need, what you're willing to do to build something real. We talked for 2 hours. He showed me real numbers, bad numbers, but honest ones. We discussed restructuring, downsizing, focusing on sustainable growth instead of impressive appearances. I invested $50,000, not a gift, a loan, 5-year term, quarterly reviews. If he missed targets, the terms changed. If he succeeded, he'd own his company outright. The Porsche still sits in my garage. I drive it twice a week, enjoy every minute. The maintenance costs exactly what it's always cost. I can afford it easily. Brandon drives a used Honda now. Leased the BMW back to the dealer, settled the debt. He works from a small office, 3 real clients, modest revenue, growing slowly. Honestly, Jennifer sold the house, moved to a smaller place, paid off most of her debt. We have dinner monthly. Different conversations now, real ones. Sometimes justice looks like cruelty. Sometimes teaching looks like punishment. The line between them depends on intention. My intention was clarity. The method was exposure. I can live with that. If you enjoyed this story, please like this video, subscribe to Twisted Vengeance, and share your thoughts in the comments. Let us know what city you're watching from. To listen to the next story, click the video on the left. Thank you for watching.